or interesting topic is. So in this kind or in this situation, I think for this season you have so many interesting publication in a good paper.
Finding into one manuscript. If you put new finding into one manuscript, the manuscript could be difficult to follow.
Yeah. Not always supporting our theory. Do you have any that kind of experiences, and how usually you do? Do you use the result to support your finding in the manuscript or any kind? Okay, good morning everyone. Welcome back to our podcast MIKROFON. MIPA kabar riset, obrolan fun and inspirasi. This morning we have a special guest. First of all, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Arika, and for today, we would like to talk about practical ways to do research and get published in a reputable international journal. Our guest is Professor Fugo Takasu, a professor at Nara Women's University, whose work explore ecological and evolutionary biologic through theoretical calculation. He has published in many reputable international journals such as Nature Communication, Ecology and Evolution, Journal of Theoretical Biology, Frontier in Plant Science, and so on. So, Professor, thank you for being here. It's been a pleasure for me. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Good morning. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu.
Genki desu ka?
Genki desu.
Hi. Indonesia wa do desu ka?
Yes, so this is my fifth visit to Indonesia. So I visited five times, but this is my third visit to Surabaya. Unesa.
Atsui desu ka? Surabaya wa?
Yes, it's warm. Because last week I was in Yogyakarta, where the temperature was much cooler. In Surabaya, it's warmer than in Yogyakarta.
I think in Nara is autumn now.
Yes, but still this summer is unusually hot. So I checked my weather in my hometown Nara. Temperature is between 25 to 26. During daytime, it's quite warm.
So the summer is
36. 36. So it's real summer.
Okay, so I hope you have a good time in Indonesia, especially Surabaya. I visit Nara once. It was so beautiful. I visit a temple which surrounded by a beautiful deer. Many deer.
We have many Buddhism temple in Nara, and you saw many deers.
Yeah, so beautiful. It was unforgettable. So
many deers sometimes come into my campus. So we see deers inside the campus.
It's good to know.
Because our campus is very close to the UNESCO World Heritage Area. Just 10 minutes walk. So we see deers in our campus.
Okay, so buat sobat MIPA yang tertarik bisa exchange maybe atau melanjutkan studi ke Nara Women's University. Sobat MIPA, mari kita mulai untuk acara hari ini. To start, let's begin with a brief introduction, Professor. Please share your academic focus and what kind of paper you most enjoying to write usually.
Yes, for these years, I am interested in the mathematical approach called the point process or point pattern dynamics. So that is a new approach to study spatial population dynamics. And I have been focusing on writing papers using the point pattern approach. In this approach, we represent each individual, maybe human being or animal or plant, as a point on continuous space, and each point gives birth to a new point, or dies, or moves, or it can change its status from susceptible to infectious in epidemics. So we can set up rules about individual birth, death, movement, and status change. So it is a kind of algorithmic models or individual-based or agent-based models in computer science. So we run the simulation model and we do simulation analysis. But for me, simulation is not enough. So we use mathematics to better understand simulation results. So I have applied this technique to mainly infectious disease. So I wrote several papers with my Ph.D. student or master course student about the extension of the classical SIS model or SIRS models. So there are many combinations of the models, but we try to extend the classical model to point pattern dynamics to study how infection spread over space.
Oh my God, such a wonderful or interesting topic is. So in this kind or in this situation, I think for this season you have so many interesting publication in a good paper journal. So, but if we looking back to your early time as author, what kind of early publishing mistake taught you a lesson that you still use today? Do you have any such kind of experience?
Yes, usually we write manuscripts and submit to journal and wait for the response. So for these years, I basically have some positive comment, but of course, reviewers give some critical some comments. So to the reviewer's opinion, or maybe we have to reply to all reviewer comments.
Yes.
So sometimes it is true, it is difficult. But I try as a corresponding author, I try to answer to all comments raised by reviewers. But sometimes reviewers don't understand the study correctly, and they sometimes or often reviewers make mistakes. They don't understand our research. So in this case, we just reply against the reviewer comments. So you don't understand our results. So we try to persuade reviewers to understand our research. But the final decision is made by editor-in-chief. Editor-in-chief just to read responses or our responses against reviewer, and he will make some final decisions.
And for this, I agree to you. Sometimes reviewer will give us a lot of supportive suggestion which improve our manuscript. But in some case, it's a bit difficult to follow, for example, due to the misunderstanding of the reviewer. So in this case, do you have any trick or method usually you use to still politely reject the advice of reviewer?
Yes, of course. We try to feedback to reviewer comment in a polite manner, but sometimes it fails. So in this case, we just give up the journal and we try to another journal. So the important is that don't afraid of rejections. It sometimes happens. So we should be always positive to publish our research at some journal. If you fail, you try to another journal. But reviewer comment is very important and very valuable to polish the manuscript. Because usually we write manuscripts with our students, and sometimes we are narrow-viewed. But reviewer comment makes us broad on our manuscript. So comment is very important.
So talking about rejection, what usually you do to, for example, if some editor or reviewer reject the manuscript, do you usually revise or do the revision to the manuscript according to the reviewer and then resubmit, or just directly resubmit, or do you have any other method?
Yes, so after revision, but if our submission is rejected, we try another journal. Yes.
Okay. Next question will be like, as researcher, sometimes it's a bit difficult to us to because in research sometimes we found a lot of interesting findings and we want to put all of the interesting finding to our manuscript, but sometimes it make our manuscript not on track, which is not so not so clearly our main finding. So how to still accommodate our interesting finding but keep our the main finding still interesting in our manuscript, like on track.
So we need some novel thing or new finding to write a paper, but my comment is that we should simplify our manuscript. So we should not put many new finding into one manuscript. If you put new finding into one manuscript, the manuscript could be difficult to follow. So I think that we should simplify the structure of manuscript. So we should focus on one new findings, so that the manuscript structure is simple and easy to follow.
So do you think shorter paper is more have like high acceptance rate or something like that?
It's difficult to answer because usually my manuscript is accepted after revisions. But still, I have experience that my manuscript was rejected, and I remember the recent one. I have one manuscript that was rejected. That was done jointly by my student, but my student left my laboratory, and it's difficult to communicate. Of course, if I have enough time, I can reanalyze the manuscript or reanalyze the result by myself. But because I don't have time, I just give up the manuscript.
I understand. And talking about the student who writing the manuscript, usually a student which is still have a minimum experiences in writing manuscript.
Of course.
What usually mistake do by student in preparing the manuscript?
Yes, so a paper consists of the introduction, the method of material. So in my case, our method of modeling, and the result and discussion. So for students, writing the discussion would be most difficult because they don't know how to write it. And but for the material and the method and the result, it is relatively easy for a student to write. So I let student first write the draft, but I try to revise student draft, and I help student to polish the manuscript before submissions. Of course, I, as a supervisor, check the manuscript carefully, so that the manuscript is enough for submission to an international journal.
For this reason, sometimes take long time before publishing.
Of course, it takes several months. How usually the time you get to prepare a manuscript? For example, 1 year or? Yes, but for mathematical analysis, maybe student work on maybe maximally 1 full year, or maybe that is enough. But writing a manuscript, of course, it takes time.
Yes, I agree.
So, in my university, the student of the 4th year start mini research to get bachelor degree. But 1 year is never enough. And nearly half students go up to graduate school to obtain master degree, master program. But still for 2 years is not enough to fully write the manuscript for submission to international journal. So maybe PhD student. So in my case, for successful publication, maybe PhD student, they need another 3 years. But because after submission, it takes also several months to have the first response to reviews. Actually, I have one manuscript under review. I submitted it in June in this year, but I have no response. Still, it's under review.
It's been 3 months more.
3 months, So usually for theoretical study, it takes quite a long time. At least 4 or 5 months. my longest case is it took nearly 10 months.
Oh, 10 months.
So it is very difficult for a master course student to get published. So at least PhD student for another 3 years is necessary.
The most suitable one, I think. Okay, talking about the introduction, because you mentioned about the introduction. On the first page or on the introduction section, how do you show the research gap and the novelty, and why it matters so the editor and reviewer can see it right away? Because sometimes even though we put the novelty clearly on our manuscript, sometimes the reviewer still questioning our finding and novelty.
Okay, so introduction is very important.
Yes, I agree.
Because in which we briefly review the previous related papers.
Yes.
What have been done and what have been known in the previous study. And we appeal what is a novelty in our research. We have to stress the new thing, something new thing in our research. So we need to survey previous research to briefly mention what have been done, and we appeal the novelty in our papers in the last sentence of introduction.
Like what's new from the paper or something like that. Okay, beside introduction, title and abstract is also important.
Title and abstract is the most important, because editors and reviewers just briefly read the title and abstract. And half decision is half made reading the abstract.
So is there, do you have any what are the essential elements to include in the title and what should we avoid in it? And also, additionally, concerning the abstract, what are the same consideration for you?
Yes, but it's a very difficult question to answer because the title should be compact, but should stress some novelty.
So usually you put the novelty on the title.
Maybe in abstract, because the title is too short to appeal the novelty. So maybe abstract. In the abstract, we appeal our novelty.
To make the editor interest to our paper. Okay, thank you for a good explanation. Talking, because we are researchers, sometimes the reality is not always good, right? But there is sometimes we get the result which is not so good, or also not always supporting our theory. Do you have any that kind of experiences, and how usually you do? Do you use the result to support your finding in the manuscript or any kind?
Yes, so in my case, at least all papers published recently focus on some theoretical modeling. It's a conceptual modeling. So we don't need data. So we just appeal the novelty in the conceptual models. So that is a point pattern approach, because not many people focus on point pattern approach in theoretical study of spatial population dynamics, and because the approach is new, so for me it is relatively easy to appeal. So I have no difficulty to appeal the advantage of point pattern approach.
So glad to know, because sometimes for us we should deal with that kind of situation. Usually before writing or choose journal to publish, do you pick the target journal before writing, or usually you write first and choose later, or which approach better work for you?
Yes. For my case, maybe it will be challenging to try the very prestigious journal like Nature or something.
Yes.
But maybe I'm not so interested to publishing at some Natures. For me, maybe Journal of Theoretical Biology or Theoretical Population Biology, that would be a good journal. So usually I first try Journal of Theoretical Biology because the journal covers purely conceptual modeling. Also, it covers some data-driven modeling.
So usually you choose the journal first, then then write the paper, something like that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, but if we fail, we try to another journal. If our manuscript is rejected, we have to switch to another journal.
And okay, thank you. In the first decision from editor, beside title, abstract, also for some good reputable journal, they need us to submit a cover letter along with the manuscript. In a cover letter, what aspect do you usually put? Novelty?
But I think my cover letter is quite simple. So maybe within one page.
Oh, there's one page.
So this is my way. We just appeal our nobility in a few sentences, and that's all.
That's all. Yeah, because sometimes a bit tricky to prepare a cover letter because beside the manuscript, editor will write the cover letter, right? So yeah.
But at least in my case, my cover letter is quite simple.
Yeah,
maximally one page.
Yeah, maybe we should think how to prepare something in a simple but good way. Like for example, because you also mentioned to prepare like good, for example, like short, simple manuscript, and also to just keep the main finding, not so broad finding or something like that. Okay. I have another question, Professor. Sometimes publishing is a marathon because we have some due date or something like that. How do you build a publication pipeline? For example, from idea, because before do research you have idea, and to do the research and until submission without any burnout.
So when we start a new research, new idea comes first. So yes, I have been collaborating with many of my students, and I have many ideas, and all of them cannot be done by myself.
Yes.
So I collaborate with my students by supervising their mini research at the undergraduate and master courses and PhD courses. And yes, but not all new idea turn out to be successful, because we start some try research.
Yes.
Sometimes the result is not interesting, so that in this case we would not be able to publish such a result. Then we look for some another new ideas. But in daily research activity and discussing with many scientists, including the Indonesian mathematical biologists, I always have new ideas, many ideas. So I try one of them one by one with my student, and if the idea turns out to be successful, having a very interesting result, we try to publish it. But as I said, it usually takes long time.
Yes.
Analysis itself can be finished within 1 or 2 years.
Yes.
But it takes time to prepare manuscript.
Yes.
And it takes time to have feedback from the editor.
Yes, so it's long process. In the meantime, sometimes it make us like, for example, a student feel like a bit burned out. Sometimes we questioning, how about our manuscript, something like that. And how do you usually, do you often face any that situation or no?
Especially the undergraduate students, they only have 1 year.
That is
so maybe
difficult case.
It is very difficult for undergraduate students to publish before they finish university.
But so the ideal one is student from bachelor then continue to master.
To master, yes. And also for master 2 years might not be enough. So maybe they need to go to some PhD. Or maybe I continue revising the manuscript after my student completed master degree and left my laboratory.
So it's a long process, very long.
Of course, it's a long process.
Maybe one last question. What do you have any one habit that most improve your acceptance rate, Professor? And maybe you can share tips and trick to increase our acceptance rates actually to the new author.
Yes. anyway, so maybe choosing the topic is very important. Choosing research topics. So my opinion is that if you find a very good topic, then your research is half finished. Half finished. Rest of the half is analysis and writing papers. So finding a good research theme or topics, it is very important.
Yes.
But it is also very difficult. You need to survey previous research, what have been done by another scientist, and you need to check the previous papers. So nowadays, it is relatively easy to get papers online. In my time, I was a PhD student more than 30 years ago.
Oh,
at that time, we have to go to library and take a paper copy and read it.
Yeah,
and I remember when I write some PhD thesis, I read maybe 5 or some paper pages. But nowadays,
it's so difficult.
But nowadays, most paper in PDF. You collect related papers and you check it, and you have to study what have been done. So it is a survey before you start your research. Yeah. Then you find something new that has not yet done by anybody. So that could be a starting point.
Okay. I would like to ask one more follow-up question. Talking about a good or interesting topic, how usually you decide, oh, this one is interesting, oh, this one is not?
Yes, also it depends on scientists. Some topics is interesting for me, but other people might think it's not interesting. But as an independent scientist, I want to pursue my interests. Yeah. Why? Actually, I want to know about the result of the paper, or result of the topics. That motivates me to do science. But if you join the workshop or conference and check the another scientist's activity, so maybe you will find something interesting that can be shared by another scientist.
Okay, thank you very much, Professor, for sharing the practical and generous advice. So, let me summarize our talk.
Yes.
So to prepare a good manuscript, we need first find an interesting topic, which if you already have one, so you done the halfway, right? And after that, do the research and also keep the title and also abstract interesting, and please also give or make as simple as can to write make a good manuscript, something like that. So it's better to prepare as simple as you can, right? So it's make the reader easy to understand our topics. Is that something like that?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
And finally, especially for students, I encourage students, so undergraduate or master or PhD, to join workshop or conference or small meeting as many as possible to get feedback from the audience. That is very important.
Yeah, so do you mean the feedback for our research, right? So, and also it's good to build the student confidence. Thank you very much and for spending time with us. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Terima kasih. And it's very nice because our university doesn't have such a nice system. So maybe I'd like to share this podcast to my students.
Okay, we will send to you the link after we finish upload. Otsukare sama deshita.
Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
See you next time on the FMI podcast.
Yes, because maybe next year, I and Professor Abadi, mathematics, try to organize a short program. It's a 1-week program about mathematical modeling here in Surabaya, UNESA. Well, last week we organized a similar short program in Yogyakarta, UGM and UNI. Next year we plan to organize this modeling.
Can't wait to see. Please, maybe that time we can do this kind of podcast again with different topics. It's very nice to talk with you. And before we close our podcast, please we have please Unesa satu langkah di depan, Unesa one step ahead together with me.
I know because yesterday I learned that this is important. Oh yes.
Okay, please together. Unesa, Unesa, one step ahead.